Since the dawn of civilization, the essence of what it means to be human has intrigued thinkers, poets, and sages. But what if what we know is just the tip of the iceberg? Ancient manuscripts and forbidden texts hold secrets about the true origin of humanity, revealing that there is more than just a linear narrative. Imagine discovering that there are 3 types of humans, each with a different origin and purpose, mentioned in scriptures that many ignore. What does this mean for our identity? Who are these original humans? And why does their spiritual connection seem so intense and most disturbing? Why are these truths hidden under layers of silence and censorship? As we uncover these clandestine revelations, a new perspective on spirituality and human destiny emerges. Are these divisions a reflection of evolutionary stages, or part of a divine plan that we are only beginning to glimpse? Get ready for a journey that challenges everything you thought you knew. Secrets are about to come to light, and the truth may be more surprising than you imagine. In ancient scriptures, we find references that suggest the existence of 3 distinct types of human beings. Each of them has origins, characteristics, and purposes that define them in unique ways. For example, there are those who are seen as the righteous who seek wisdom and truth. These beings are often portrayed as those who follow a path of righteousness and morality, always seeking connection with the divine. They are, in a way, the guides of humanity. On the other hand, there are the wicked who deviate from this path and are often presented as those who indulge in selfish and destructive practices. Ancient literature does not hesitate to describe them as beings who ignore spiritual values and who live in disharmony with the universe. This dichotomy between the righteous and the wicked highlights an internal struggle present in every human being. There is a third category that can be seen as the neutral or indifferent. These are the individuals who do not completely identify with the righteous or the wicked, living their lives without a clear purpose. This class may seem less interesting, but it is fundamental to understanding the diversity of the human experience. They represent the majority of the population, people who seek their path without necessarily committing themselves to extreme ideals. These categories are not just labels, but reflect a deeper insight into the human condition. By exploring these divisions, religious literature invites us to reflect on our own choices and the consequences they entail. After all, each type of human being has a role to play in the universal narrative. Therefore, the idea that there are 3 types of human beings in the scriptures is not just a curiosity, but a way of better understanding who we are and what our role is in the world. The stories and lessons contained in these categories help us navigate life more mindfully. Forbidden and hidden texts are a fascinating part of religious and philosophical history. Works such as the Book of Enoch and other apocrypha have been censored or excluded from the official canon for a variety of reasons, often related to issues of power and control. These documents, which were considered heretical or controversial, offer an alternative view of humanity and its origins. These texts reveal narratives that often contradict the stories accepted by the dominant religious tradition. For example, the Book of Enoch talks about the fall of angels and their interactions with humans, suggesting a complexity in creation and man's role in the universe. These stories can make us question the simplicity of some doctrines and lead us to reflect on the depth of human spirituality. Additionally, occult texts often address themes such as the quest for knowledge and personal spirituality. They encourage a more direct and personal relationship with the divine, in contrast to religious institutions that often establish mediators between the human being and the sacred. This perspective can be liberating for many, as it allows for the exploration of beliefs and practices that resonate more deeply with individuality. Analyzing these texts also helps us understand how the history of religion has been shaped by political and social interests. Censorship of ideals considered threatening reveals a lot about power dynamics in ancient societies. By reclaiming these narratives, we can begin to unravel the rich tapestry of beliefs that make up our spiritual heritage. In this way, forbidden and hidden texts are not just historical curiosities, but windows to other realities and worldviews. They invite us to explore the plurality of human experience and to consider the importance of questioning and investigating the truths presented to us. Investigating the different spiritual connections of human beings is a topic that leads us to reflect on our place in the cosmos. Each type of human being, as mentioned previously, can have a unique relationship with the divine and the universe. For example, the righteous may feel a deeper, more intuitive connection with spiritual forces, constantly seeking harmony and wisdom. The wicked, on the other hand, may feel disconnected or even hostile toward these forces. The lack of a clear purpose can result in a lack of understanding about the cosmos and its laws. This disconnection can lead to behaviors that not only harm the individual, but also affect the community, creating a cycle of negativity and suffering. Neutrals, which occupy an intermediate space, can have an ambiguous relationship with spirituality. They can oscillate between moments of connection and periods of apathy. This group is interesting because it represents the struggle of many of us to find meaning in life, without necessarily identifying completely with a specific doctrine or belief. The idea that some groups have a deeper understanding of the universe is also a source of debate. Some spiritual traditions assert that wisdom can be accessed in different ways, and that every human being has the potential to discover universal truths, regardless of their origin or type. This leads us to question whether spirituality is a matter of access or internal disposition. Therefore, when we investigate these spiritual connections, we are led to reflect on what it really means to be human. The spiritual path may be an individual journey, but its implications resonate throughout society, shaping our interactions and understandings of the divine and the cosmos. When talking about the division between types of humans, the first question that arises is, what does this mean for our beliefs? This discussion goes beyond the simple understanding of humanity. It touches on deep aspects of spirituality and the purpose of life. Some philosophical currents suggest that these divisions may indicate different levels of consciousness and, consequently, different spiritual paths to be followed. Each group could have its own understanding of what it means to exist and what its role is in the grand scheme of the universe. Furthermore, the idea that there are types of humans can challenge traditional notions of equality. If we have different origins and purposes, it raises questions about how we relate to each other and how we perceive our place in society. This reflection can also lead to a more critical examination of the religions and doctrines that we have accepted as absolute truths. After all, if each type of human has a unique connection with the divine, wouldn't this be an opening for new interpretations and spiritual practices? The evolution of human consciousness is another important point to consider. If original humans possess deeper wisdom or understanding, it could mean that humanity has the potential to evolve toward a higher understanding of itself and the cosmos. The quest for this evolution can be seen as a personal and collective journey, where each individual has the opportunity to explore their own spiritual understanding. These divisions can also influence how we view morality and ethics. The question that remains is, does each type of human have a different standard of right and wrong? If so, this could complicate dialogue between different cultures and belief systems. The search for common understanding can be a challenge, but also an opportunity for growth and unity. The philosophical and theological implications of these divisions invite us to reflect on our own spiritual journey. What is our role in creation? How can we contribute to a broader understanding of humanity? These are questions that, if well explored, can enrich our lives and expand our vision of what it means to be human. The concept of original humans is fascinating and carries with it a number of implications. In Scripture, these individuals are often described as those who hold ancient wisdom. But who are these figures? What characteristics define them? The search for these answers can lead us to reflect on how human identity was formed throughout history and how this still influences the way we live today. These original humans can be seen as the bearers of knowledge that has, in a certain way, been forgotten or distorted over time. The idea that they have a special nature that transcends common understanding can inspire us to seek a deeper understanding of ourselves. This search can be both internal and external, involving spiritual practices that connect us to this ancestral knowledge. The identity of the original humans also challenges the contemporary view of humanity. In a world where science and technology dominate, many wonder how these ancient concepts fit together. What does it mean to be human in a context where genetics and evolution are constantly studied? This intersection between science and spirituality offers a fertile field for discussions about the future of humanity and its role in creation. Furthermore, the notion of original humans can influence how we view cultural diversity. If we accept that different groups have their own roots and wisdom, this can foster greater respect and appreciation for the plurality of human experiences. This appreciation of diversity can be an important step towards a more harmonious and connected world. Reflecting on who the original humans are invites us to question our own essence. What makes us human? What unique gifts and abilities do each of us have? This search for identity is not only a personal journey, but also an opportunity to rediscover the truth about our connection with the whole, reinforcing the role that each one plays in the great tapestry of life. The disclosure of hidden information about humanity can provoke a series of changes in social perceptions. When people begin to understand that there are different types of human beings with different origins and purposes, this can lead to a reevaluation of interpersonal relationships. The idea that we are not all the same can create both divisions and a sense of belonging to a specific group, depending on how this information is interpreted. Furthermore, this revelation can influence the way communities organize themselves. If some groups feel more connected to a spiritual or historical truth, this can result in a social hierarchy based on these beliefs. For example, those who consider themselves part of a superior lineage may seek to monopolize power or resources, marginalizing other groups who do not share the same vision. This can intensify existing conflicts and inequalities. Culturally, acceptance of these ideas can lead to a reinterpretation of traditions and rituals. Many cultural practices are rooted in a worldview that considers the homogeneity of human experience. With the introduction of new narratives, there may be an effort to adapt these traditions to a new reality, which can generate heated debates within societies that value their cultural heritages. Education may also be impacted. If schools and educational institutions begin to include this new information, it could change the focus of curricula. Students could learn about the differences between human groups in a more critical way, leading to discussions about identity, belonging, and diversity. This could foster a more inclusive environment, or, on the contrary, create a space for rivalry between different groups. The political scenario could be profoundly affected. Leaders who exploit these divisions for their own benefit can exacerbate social tensions, using the narrative of human categories to justify discriminatory policies or power hierarchies. On the other hand, this same revelation can inspire social movements that seek to promote equality, uniting people from different backgrounds around a common cause. Thus, the impact of these revelations can be both positive and negative, depending on how society chooses to react to them. As we explore these revelations, a question echoes in our minds. Are we ready to accept the truth about our origins? Forbidden texts may hold keys to understanding not only who we are, but also where we are going. Imagine discovering that the essence of our humanity is much richer than we believe. What if the different types of humans are actually fragments of a greater truth, a complex tapestry that weaves together our existence? These questions lead us to reflect on our own journey. Have you ever wondered what kind of human being you are, and how does this influence your spiritual connection? Throughout history, many have tried to silence these truths, but now more than ever is the time to bring to light what has been hidden. What else could be behind these ancient scriptures? What else don't they want you to know? Get ready, because the search for truth has just begun. Stay with us, as each answer can open doors to new questions and revelations. What you discover next could change your view of yourself and the world. Are you ready for this journey?